The Bold and the Beautiful on Wednesday, October 1st. The Bold and the Beautiful. Luna Nozawa's shocking pregnancy, Electra's violent outburst, and a desperate plea to a father who believed she was dead in a week packed with twists, betrayals, and devastating consequences. The Bold and the Beautiful delivers one of its most explosive storylines in years. Luna Nozawa, once a confident and mysterious presence in the glamorous world of fashion and family dynasties, now finds herself completely alone and pregnant. But that's only the beginning. The child she carries is none other than the baby of Will Spencer Jr., the son of one of the most powerful men in Los Angeles. And she's now become the target of a brutal attack that threatens not only her safety but the life growing inside her. What unfolds next is a saga of buried secrets, shocking revelations, and a long-lost father forced to confront a past he believed was dead and gone. Luna's world crumbles. Luna has always been a character wrapped in mystery, with her connections to the Finnegan and Forrester families cloaked in secrets and complicated loyalties. But this week, everything changes. The confident, calculating Luna is gone. In her place stands a vulnerable, pregnant woman under siege. Ever since news of her pregnancy surfaced, Luna has become a marked woman. No longer feared, she is now hunted. The news of her carrying Will Spencer Jr.'s child has sent shockwaves across the Spencer and Forrester clans. But the most terrifying reaction comes not from Bill Spencer or Ridge Forrester, but from Electra Forrester, Will's fiery and dangerously jealous girlfriend. And Electra isn't just mad, she's out for blood. Electra's attack and the risk of tragedy in a scene straight out of a nightmare. A new promo for The Bold and the Beautiful shows Electra attacking Luna in a fit of rage. The moment is shocking, brutal, and completely unexpected. Luna, visibly pregnant and already fragile, is punched hard and violently thrown off a sofa by Electra, who's blinded by jealousy and rage. It's not just a catfight, it's a deliberate, vicious assault on a pregnant woman. The fallout is immediate and terrifying. Luna begins to experience intense pain and panic sets in. She's terrified she may be losing her baby. But here's the problem, Luna has nowhere to go. The hospital is out of the question. The last time she trusted someone with her medical care, her own grandmother tried to kill her. Lee Finnegan, who should have protected her, once wrapped her hands around Luna's throat and tried to strangle her. That kind of trauma doesn't fade. Trust doesn't come easy, especially not now. Nowhere left to run. Luna is cornered. Her enemies are closing in and her allies have vanished. The Forrester family is divided. The Spencers are livid. The Finnegans are haunted by lies and betrayals. Luna can't trust the institutions that should be helping her. She's pregnant, possibly miscarrying, and completely alone. And then she realizes there's only one person left who might help her. Someone who should have always been in her life. Someone who believes she's already dead. Dr. John Finnegan, the father who never knew drive. John Finnegan has no idea that Luna, his biological daughter, is still alive. For years, he's believed the story carefully crafted by his manipulative mother, Lee Finnegan. A story built on lies, forged documents, and a deeply buried betrayal. Lee led him to believe Luna was dead, never existed, or never made it. But in truth, Lee orchestrated a masterful deception, hiding Luna's existence from him. She faked the death, snuck Luna away, and buried the truth beneath years of silence and guilt. Finn may be many things, husband, doctor, son, but he is also a man with deep moral conviction. His Hippocratic oath still means something to him. He's a healer at heart. But when Luna, bruised, bleeding, and terrified, appears at his door, will those instincts be enough? Or will the emotional shock paralyze him? The impossible reunion. Imagine the scene. Luna, weak and clutching her stomach, stumbles to a door she never thought she'd knock on. Her last hope. She raises her hand, barely able to stand. She knocks. The door opens, and standing there is Dr. John Finnegan, the man she never knew but whose blood runs through her veins. The shock on Finn's face is immediate. Recognition collides with disbelief. She's supposed to be dead. She looks like a ghost. But the pain is real, the tears are real, and her plea for help? Devastating. Finn is hit with a storm of emotion. Confusion, heartbreak, betrayal, fury. But there's no time for questions. Luna collapses. She needs help. Her baby might be in danger. And despite everything, Finn acts. Because that's who he is. Finn's dilemma, father or doctor first. But what happens after the adrenaline wears off? Once Luna is stabilized and the baby's heartbeat is detected, what then? Finn will want answers. Why didn't anyone tell him? Why did his own mother lie? Why was he robbed of knowing his daughter? The emotional weight of this realization is crushing. Luna isn't just a stranger on his doorstep. She's family, his daughter, and the child she's carrying? His grandchild. The legacy he never expected. But it gets more complicated. Finn's personal feelings toward Luna were strained even before this revelation. When she first emerged in Los Angeles, he kept his distance. He didn't want to get involved. He had his reasons. But now the stakes are life and death. Will he rise above the past, let go of old judgments, and be the father she needs? Will he fight for her safety against the wrath of the Spencers? The fury of Electra, and the secrets buried by Lee? A war on all fronts once word gets out that Luna is alive. And pregnant with a Spencer heir. The dominoes will fall fast. Bill Spencer will demand answers. Ridge Forrester will see his empire shaken. Electra will be arrested or disappear into hiding. And Lee Finnegan? She will face a reckoning unlike any she's ever imagined. Finn's loyalty will be torn in every direction. Steffi Forrester, currently absent, won't be around to pull him back from the edge. And without her, Finn may be more vulnerable than ever to emotional manipulation or redemption. Luna's presence is a trigger. A spark. Her return ignites long-dormant conflicts and exposes truths everyone tried to forget. But the biggest question remains. Will Luna and her baby survive? The physical threat from Electra was just the beginning. The real danger now lies in the power struggle about to erupt. Luna's baby is not just a child, it's a legacy. A link between the Spencers, Forresters, and Finnegans. That kind of connection is political dynamite in the world of the bold and the beautiful. Everyone will want a say in that child's future. Everyone will have an agenda. But what about Luna? She's still recovering, still reeling from trauma. She's a survivor, yes, but she's also just a young woman caught in a war she didn't start. And in the middle of it all stands Finn, holding a life he never knew existed, faced with a choice that could change the future of every family on the canvas. What's next? This week's developments promise more than just drama. They deliver a tectonic shift in the show's power dynamics. With Luna's survival, her pregnancy, and her father's discovery of the truth, The Bold and the Beautiful is setting the stage for a storm of reckonings, rivalries, and redemptions. Will Finn become the father Luna never had? Will he protect her and her unborn child from the forces circling them? Will Electra be held accountable? And will the Spencer Empire embrace or destroy the new life growing in Luna's womb? One thing is certain, The Bold and the Beautiful just changed everything. And nothing will ever be the same again. Delivered an hour packed with confession, passion, and the kind of emotional fallout that can only happen in Los Angeles. This was not a day of filler or quiet moments. Every scene carried weight, every line spoke to long simmering emotions, and every gesture revealed cracks in relationships that once seemed unshakable. Fans who tuned in on CBS or streamed on Paramount Plus witnessed the kind of explosive storytelling that keeps this soap at the top of its game, with Hope finally confessing the depth of her feelings for Liam, Ridge pouring his heart into his love for Brooke, and the past colliding with the present in ways no one could have predicted. Hope Logan entered the episode carrying a secret too heavy to ignore. She could no longer contain the truth inside her heart. Her love for Liam Spencer had not only resurfaced, it had intensified. The more she tried to push it away, the more impossible it became to deny. Just days earlier, she had believed Liam's life was slipping away before her eyes, only to learn it was part of a cruel ruse. Another crisis in a long line of Forrester Logan Spencer upheavals. But in those desperate hours when she thought he might not survive, Hope had felt something primal and undeniable. She had remembered everything they had shared. Their daughter Beth, their battles, their reconciliations, and the countless times they had come back to each other when the world had tried to pull them apart. That sense of connection had flooded back into her veins, reminding her that some bonds are never truly broken. As the scene unfolded, Hope admitted her feelings out loud. It was not a declaration shouted in the heat of passion. It was quieter, more haunting, tinged with guilt. She whispered that she loved Liam. Even as the words slipped from her lips, she knew the consequences could be devastating. She was engaged to Carter Walton, a man who had given her stability, strength, and loyalty when she had needed it most. Carter had stood by her, supported her choices, and offered her the kind of future that looked safe and bright. Yet Hope's hesitation in setting a wedding date had always been a warning sign. One she ignored, but one that now roared back into the forefront. Her confession was not just an admission of love for Liam, but a betrayal of Carter's trust, a rupture in a promise she had made with sincerity but perhaps not with certainty. The flashback that followed carried enormous weight. Hope remembered that rooftop moment with Liam, the air sharp and still as they stood above Los Angeles. She remembered the way his eyes had locked onto hers, the way time had seemed to stop, and the way their history pressed in on them like a tide that refused to recede. She relived every second, the brush of his hand, the tremor in his voice, the sense that nothing and no one else mattered in that instant. It was a memory soaked in longing. One that would not leave her no matter how hard she tried to bury it. As she stood in the present, she felt the rooftop moment wasn't just a fragment of the past but a signpost of the future she might still crave. Meanwhile, Carter remained focused on the life he thought they were building together. He had spoken openly about his desire to marry Hope, to move forward, to make her his wife. He had embraced not only her but Beth as well, carving out a vision of family that he believed could be real. He had interpreted Hope's agreement to his proposal as proof of her love, never imagining she might be holding part of her heart back. His optimism contrasted sharply with her hesitation. While he pushed forward, eager to set a date and plan a wedding, she quietly stalled, unable to reconcile the commitment she had made with the emotions swelling inside her for another man. Elsewhere in Los Angeles, the world of Forrester Creations marched on, though even its polished hallways could not escape the ripple effects of personal entanglements. Eric Forrester, patriarch and visionary, guided the creative direction with Ridge by his side. Together, they were shaping a new collection, one meant to honor Forrester's legacy while embracing the future. Ridge's wife, Brooke Logan, brought her usual fire and insight, while Carter and Daphne also played pivotal roles. The company's machinery churned forward, but emotions simmered just beneath the surface. In fashion, every choice of fabric or silhouette speaks to a larger statement, and in this moment, the collection mirrored the characters themselves. Bold, ambitious, yet teetering on the edge of unraveling. Amid the creative process, Ridge and Brooke found themselves caught up in their own emotional reckoning. Despite the chaos swirling around them, Ridge made a point to express his love for Brooke in a way that cut through the noise. Their relationship has been one of soap opera's most legendary romances. Tested by betrayal, interrupted by rivals, resurrected more times than anyone can count. And yet, here they stood, once again bound together. Ridge's words were not casual, not perfunctory. He spoke with passion, affirming his devotion to Brooke, proving that for all their missteps and misadventures, she was the woman he wanted beside him. Brooke, who has fought time and again for Ridge's heart, absorbed his declaration with a quiet strength. She knew their love would continue to face challenges. But in that moment, she allowed herself to believe in the permanence of what they had. The collision of past and present could be felt everywhere. Hope's turmoil over Liam and Carter echoed the very patterns that have haunted her mother Brooke's own romantic history. Choices between men, a heart torn in two, the pull of destiny versus the promise of security. Liam himself, though not present in every scene, loomed large as the man who has repeatedly reshaped Hope's life. Every decision she made circled back to him, whether she admitted it or not. The rooftop memory was more than nostalgia. It was a reminder that she and Liam are bound in ways neither Carter's devotion nor her own sense of obligation could erase. The consequences of this day's events will not be contained to whispered confessions or fleeting memories. When Hope finally admits to Brooke that her old feelings for Liam have resurfaced, the ripple effect will be immediate. Brooke, who has always been both protective of her daughter and opinionated about her love life, will have her own perspective on the matter. She knows better than most that love can be messy, that hearts rarely follow the most rational path. At the same time, she has grown protective of Carter, recognizing him as a man of integrity who deserves honesty. Hope's struggle will inevitably become Brooke's concern, setting the stage for mother and daughter to clash or unite depending on the moment. And as Ridge approved the latest Forrester line while professing his love for Brooke, it became clear that business and personal lives remain tightly entwined. Every collection the company launches is infused with the energy of its creators. And in this case, the energy was charged with tension, longing, and emotional upheaval. The fashion world may look glamorous from the outside, but behind the sketches and runway lights lies a storm of human drama that no fabric can fully conceal. The bold and the beautiful thrives on these intersections, where love meets loyalty, where passion meets obligation, and where the decisions of the past crash into the realities of the present. October 1st was an episode that showcased all of these elements at their peak. Hope's confession to herself and to Brooke, her recollection of the rooftop moment with Liam, Ridge's heartfelt expression of love for Brooke, Carter's unshaken devotion, Eric's guiding hand, and the ever-growing complexity of relationships in Los Angeles created a tapestry of conflict and desire that will not resolve quickly. For every character, the stakes have never been higher, and for viewers, every moment is unmissable. As the credits rolled, one truth lingered. In Los Angeles, no secret stays hidden forever, and no heartache remains contained. Hope's admission is just the beginning of a new wave of chaos. One that will test marriages, engagements, and families alike. The rooftop memory may be just a memory, but its echo promises to reshape the future in ways no one can yet predict. And with Ridge and Brooke reaffirming their love even as Hope struggles with hers, the battle lines of loyalty and passion are clearer than ever. The Bold and the Beautiful is once again proving why it remains the ultimate stage for love, betrayal, and